Hey there, it's Marjorie Mallard from MarjorieMallard.com, your childcare business strategist and consultant. Always here to inspire, empower, and educate you so that you can get started on your journey to childcare business ownership and entrepreneurship. So let's dive into it. Today's video is going to be about the budgeting process within the planning process of your brand new childcare business startup. If you have already done some research and you've decided what modality of care you're going to be starting with, and what I mean by modality of care, I mean whether you're going to be operating within a home or whether you're going to be operating out of a leased space or maybe let's say a childcare center. Okay. So if you've already done the research and you've decided what modality of care you're going to be utilizing and operating out of, you are now in the stage of putting an action plan together. And in that action plan, you should most certainly put together a budget. Now, think about it this way. You can't start a business with absolutely no money. And even if you have money, you need to know how far that money is going to go, how far that money is going to take you. So the beauty of you sitting down and formulating a budget will help you decipher that information. For example, let's take startup costs. You now know that maybe you're going to start off as an in-home provider. And as an in-home provider, you're going to have some startup costs. Those startup costs are going to possibly include what it takes for you to become licensed. Maybe you may need to make some modifications within your home. Maybe you need to possibly buy certain items so that you could pass licensing. In order for you to get the license, you have to have these essentials, right? So that's all going to be a part of your startup cost. If you're thinking about starting up a daycare center, the same goes there. You're going to also need to be able to have certain essentials functioning so that you could obtain your license within the center. The differences are between a home and a center as far as startup costs is your costs may be much greater. You may then be looking into possibly zoning. You may then be looking into fire marshals coming in on site, and there's an entire slew of other systems that you're going to have to put into place in a center in order to get it licensed. So again, you may see here that your startup cost is going to cost you more money than in a home. So the bottom line is you have to take these numbers of what it's going to cost you and create that budget. Know what that number is. Know what your out-of-pocket expense is going to be for your startup. In addition to startup, you're also going to have operating budget. And the operating budget, think about it this way, is what you are going to need to operate your business on a daily basis. Now, the trick here with operating costs is that it's not just a one-time fixed number. I say that to say this. If you're just starting out, you're not going to be starting out with a full program, right? So it may take you some time to fill those slots in your program. Therefore, it may take you some time for the money to start rolling in so that you can fully cover your operating cost. So in order to ensure that you can still fully cover your operating cost, you want to make sure you know what your numbers are. What is your mortgage? What is your rent going to be? What are your utility costs going to be? What are your insurance costs going to be? See, all of those items fit under the category of operating costs. So again, you have your startup cost and you have your operating costs. Now let's circle back around. In the beginning of the video, I said you have to know how much money you have. So you have to know how much money you have so then you can then take those costs and subtract it to ensure that you have enough money to start the project, number one. Number two, with those operating costs, you have to be able to project 6 months to 12 months into the future so that you can ensure that you have enough money to continue operating and paying off those operating costs until all of your enrollment picks up and all of your enrollment comes in. So I hope that was a little helpful to you guys. In addition, to just talking about the startup and the operational costs in terms of a budget. Having that budget and knowing what those numbers are and what your payout is going to be initially, as well as on a month-to-month basis, helps you configure. If you're looking to go into a center, it helps you determine how much rent you could truly make payment on, okay? Because I know sometimes we go and we chase those shiny flying objects and we see these beautiful spaces, and you may get lured into signing and obligating and signing into a lease. You don't want to do that. So before you go out and you start doing the search, you want to make sure that you have the numbers all written down as well as in your head, so that you can go out and do your search and start up your in-home daycare business in accordance to those numbers that are real. Those are your real actual numbers. You know how much money you have, you know what the cost is going to be, and this paints a true picture for you. Because ladies and gentlemen that are out there looking, you don't want to just start up a business. You don't want to just start up a childcare business. You want to make sure that your childcare business is sustainable and that it's viable. So again, this is Marjorie Mallard from MarjorieMallard.com, your childcare business strategist and consultant. And if you have any questions, do me a favor and leave some comments right below. I'll most certainly circle back around and answer any questions that you have. Also, stay tuned to my YouTube channel, because this way you can get notifications whenever I drop videos to educate you on what you need to know when you get started up on your childcare business journey. And in addition to that, like and subscribe. Alrighty? So if you are looking to possibly have some more detailed questions answered, you can always circle back around and meet me over on my Instagram handle at m.mallardny. Go into my bio, and from there, you can book a free 15-minute strategy call. Let's have that conversation and combat issues that direct exclusively to you. Again, this is Marjorie Mallard from MarjorieMallard.com, your childcare business strategist and consultant, meeting you soon on the other side of success.